Hello, everyone. I am back again, this time with Ankita, to do our Karnataka practice test. It is day 4, isn't it, Ankita?
Yes.
Are you ready, everyone? We have another amazing set of questions. Yes. So we have again papers 1 and 2 here. Ankita, are you ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, you can start reading the questions, Ankita.
Interpreter of Maladies is a collection of 9 short stories by Jhumpa Lahiri published in which year? 1990, 1995, 1998, or is it 1999? In which year this collection was published?
You should remember, like, was it before God of Small Things or after God of Small Things? You know, like that, when you study years, you should connect it with some work that you already know. And then you will be able to remember correctly. So, Ankita, was it before God of Small Things or after God of Small Things?
After, because it is 1999.
Correct. Jhumpa Lahiri wrote Interpreter of Maladies. You know, she wrote Namesake, The Lowland, Unaccustomed Earth. In which language is Jhumpa Lahiri writing these days?
Italian?
Italian. She's married to an Italian and she's writing in Italian. Wow. Okay. Though I am an old man, night is generally my time for walking. This is the opening line of Dash. The Pickwick Papers, Oliver Twist, The Old Curiosity Shop, or Our Mutual Friends. I will give you a clue, guys. There is an old man and his granddaughter here. So, which is the work? Ankita, is it Oliver Twist because there is an old man Fagin there?
It is The Old Curiosity Shop.
The Old Curiosity Shop, A Grandfather and Little Nell. And also Daniel Quilp is also there in Old Curiosity Shop. Right, very good. Little Nell, dekho. Oh, she dies at the end and it is pathetically described. Daniel Quilp is the villain in the work. Anna? Very good. That reminds me, Esther Summerson is in which work, Ankita?
Bleak House.
That's right. Ankita remembers. It is in Bleak House. Okay, going on. Choose the correctly matched pair. Ankita, can you read?
Yeah. So you have to find out the correctly matched pair of the writer and the book. Okay. So Maria Edgeworth, Lady Suzanne. Charles Reed, Alton Locke. Margaret Oliphant, The Way of All Flesh. And lastly, George Eliot, The Impressions of Theophrastus Such. Among all these options, which author and work pair is correctly matched? Here we can see that already Lady Suzanne is not a work by Maria Edgeworth. It's by Jane Austen. So now you have to find out among these 3 options.
Alton Locke, Tailor and Poet, is by?
Charles Kingsley.
Not Charles Reed. The Way of All Flesh is by Samuel Butler. I think answer is George Eliot, Impressions of Theophrastus Such. It is a prose work by George Eliot. Essays and poems, both are there. Great. One of the last works of George Eliot. Do you know the last novel by George Eliot?
It's Daniel Deronda.
Correct. Yesterday we talked about Gwendolen, character in Daniel Deronda. Which critic formulated the concept of interpretive communities? There are 2 concepts that he talked about. This critic. One is affective stylistics. The other is interpretive communities. Can you read the options, Ankita?
Yes. So who is it? Wolfgang Iser, Frederick Jameson, Stanley Fish, or Norman Holland? Ma'am, you are on mute.
Interpretive communities is the idea that the community we belong to give us strategies of interpretation. So doctors maybe will read a novel in a particular way, while teachers might read the same novel in another way. So it is by Stanley Fish. Affective stylistics was an earlier term by Stanley Fish. Okay, Ankita, you can read the next one.
Every Man is a 15th century morality play which presents a wonderful range of allegorical characters to examine the question of Christian salvation and what man must do to attain it. Which among the following is not a character in this morality play, Every Man? Confession, beauty, strength, or love? Who among them
Is not a
don't-
character.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody is familiar with any of these. It is love. Confession, beauty, and strength are characters. So we should look up Every Man, Castle of Perseverance, because these are also prescribed in universities. I have seen them in university syllabi. It is good if you look them up. The Arrival of the Bee Box. Bee, I remember. Oh, it's somebody's father studied bees. Is it Robert Lovell's, Anne Sexton's, Sylvia Plath's? None of these. The Arrival of the Bee Box. Whose father studied bees? It is Sylvia Plath.
Yeah.
Sylvia Plath. In which work among the following, the Chinese philosopher named Lian Chi Altangi writes a series of travel letters to his friend from London? Ankita, can you read the options and tell us the answer?
Okay. So which work is it? A Sentimental Journey Through France and Italy, Gulliver's Travels, The Citizen of the World, or Preserving the Self in the South Seas?
Dear friends, Oliver Goldsmith wrote Chinese letters, a series of letters published in Public Ledger and then collected and published in book form as The Citizen of the World. Write Chinese letters or Citizen of the World. Ankita, because of my voice problem, again you.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a PYQ. Choose the correct group of poets belonging to Imagism. All right? Okay. Rupert Brooke, T.E. Hume, F.S. Flint, Ezra Pound. Next, Ezra Pound, Amy Lowell, T.E. Hume, Richard Aldington. Then Robert Bridges, Amy Lowell, T.E. Hume, Ezra Pound. Lastly, Ezra Pound, Wilfred Owen, Amy Lowell, F.S. Flint. So which option among the following presents the correct poets who belong to the group of Imagism?
In the first option, I can say Rupert Brooke did not belong.
Yes.
In the second option, Ezra Pound, Amy Lowell, T.E. Hume, Richard Aldington sounds correct. All of them we know.
Yes.
In the third option, Robert Bridges did not belong. In the fourth option, Wilfred Owen did not belong. So it must be two. Right. Ankita?
Yeah. Okay. So choose the wrongly matched pair. Here we have to, match the correct concept with its propounder. So De Hebdige, subculture, Paul Virilio, dromology, Roland Robertson, glocalization, and lastly, Henry Lefebvre, the plastic turn. Here, one of the concepts has been wrongly matched with their propounder.
Henri Lefebvre is a theorist of space. Why would he talk about plastic turn? I think all the others are correct.
Yes.
What do you think, Ankita?
Yes, all the options here are correctly matched, except the last one. It was Professor Ranjan Ghosh who talked about the plastic turn, and his book itself is called The Plastic Turn. And here he talks about how modern critical theory can be, compared to the plasticity of the plastic objects, how it is plastic in nature. That's that's what his theory is about.
Very good, very good. Yes. Ranjan Ghosh. who wrote The Plastic Turn. Please remember that. They can ask you in net or set. Ankita, please.
Considered a classic in travel and adventure literature, this narrative is based on Herman Melville's experiences on the island Nuku-Hiva in the South Pacific Marquesas Islands in 1842, supplemented with imaginative reconstruction and research from other books. Which work is this? Typee, White Jacket, The Confidence Man, Mardi. We know that he was a man of the seas. Most of his works draw their inspiration from his travel voyages. So, which
The
work
picture
is
is
this?
that of Herman Melville, as you know. And which is the work? Let us see. It is Typee, A Peep at Polynesian Life. Next question, Ankita.
Which statement among the following is wrong about the rape of the lock? Okay. Firstly, it's a mock heroic narrative poem by Alexander Pope. Next, the final form of the poem appeared in 1717 with the addition of Clarissa's speech on good humor. Okay. The poem satirizes a minor incident by comparing it to the epic world of the gods. And lastly, the name here of Belinda's lapdog is Popo. So which statement is wrong?
Hey, Belinda's dog is Shock, isn't it?
Yes.
Ankita, I got a shock when you said Popo.
Yes.
It is not Popo.
Yeah.
Come on. Shock is the dog who licks her awake in Canto 1. Right. Ankita?
Yeah. Staying Alive, Women, Ecology and Development, which focuses on science and development as patriarchal projects, is a powerfully relevant work by whom? Rachel Carson, Vandana Shiva, Carol J. Adams, or Mary Daly? So we understand, like, this is a work on ecology and ecofeminism, to say. So who wrote this work, Staying Alive?
It is by the famous Indian ecofeminists.
Yes.
It's Vandana Shiva. Right. Novum Organum is a Latin title which means new instrument, a philosophical work about which they asked in the previous net. It provides an account of the correct method of acquiring natural knowledge. And he developed the inductive method of reasoning here. Who is the author? Everybody might know. It is Francis Bacon. Ankita?
Okay. So choose the wrongly matched pair. So here the characters or protagonists have been matched with the works therein, and you have to find the wrongly matched pair. Dennis Stone, Chrome Yellow. Stephen Dadulus, A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. Stanley Weber, The Birthday Party. And Philip Carey, The Moon and Sixpence.
Philip Carey is in Of Human Bondage, isn't it?
Yes, he is in Of Human Bondage.
Dennis Stone, I remember, is a poet, I think, in Chrome.
Yeah.
Stanley Weber is Stanley in Birthday Party. All these are correct. Philip Carey is Of Human Bondage by Somerset Maugham. Of Human Bondage as a title taken from Spinoza's Ethics.
Ethics.
I remember Somerset Maugham's first novel is Liza of Lambeth. Right. Ankita, please.
Midterm Break by Seamus Heaney is about dash. It's a PYQ. Okay. So what is this poem about? The death of the father, the death of a younger brother, the famine in Ireland, or is it about the Irish rebellion? What is the theme of this poem? It's a very short poem where the narrator is at school when the poem opens and gradually something happens.
I remember very clearly. And also, midterm break reminds us of children. And
Yeah.
I remember very clearly this poem. It is about the death of his younger brother. Ankita, we have the entire poem here. I sat all morning in the college sick bay, counting bells, knelling classes to a close. Like that it begins.
Yeah.
And he ends by referring to his brother's coffin, a 4-foot box, a foot for every year. Oh, so terrific, terrible, so touching. Ankita, please.
What was the pen name of Charles Ludwig Dodson? Dr. Seuss, Lewis Carroll, Richard Bachman, or Mark Twain? He was not only a writer but a famous mathematician, famous for his fantasy tales.
And he
yeah,
employed mathematics and magic in
yeah,
his tales. Everybody will know it is Lewis Carroll.
yeah.
Which part of England did he depict in his stories? Oxford.
Oxford,
To the
yes.
Oxford countryside. Lewis Carroll wrote Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. The sequel is called Through the Looking Glass. Let us go, then you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient etherized upon a table. It is T.S. Eliot's opening lines of Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Which figure of speech among the following can be found in these lines? A patient etherized upon the table. Suddenly it's a conceit. So what is that, Ankita? It is simile, like a patient. It is a simile, but it's actually a conceit.
Yeah.
An extreme simile is called a conceit. Or a metaphor. Extreme metaphor also. Which work among the following was not published in 1859? You know that On the Origin of Species and Natural Selection is definitely 1859. Guys, do you know which other work is not published? A Tale of Two Cities, Adam Bede, or Little Women? What is the answer, Ankita?
It is Little Women.
When was it
published? Yeah.
Very
it
good.
was published in 1868.
Oh, 1868, 9 years later. Can you read, please?
Okay, so it's a PYQ again. Which American poet lyricist composed the song Like a Rolling Stone? Roy Harris, Bob Dylan, Arthur Bird, or John Musto? He is very famous. Yeah.
Dear friends, we know only one poet lyricist. It is Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Poet who wrote songs. American. In England, we know Robert Burns. So this must be Bob Dylan. The iconic Bob Dylan. An image is an intellectual and emotional complex in an instant of time. This statement was made by, is it Hilda Doolittle, Ezra Pound, William Gallows Williams, or F.S. Flint? Today we have two questions on imagism. What is the answer, Ankita?
It is Ezra Pound who made this statement in his work A Few Don'ts by an Imagist.
Very good. Ezra Pound. Khush hua wo. No, can you read?
United Nations International Strategy for Disaster Reduction was established in which year? 1988, 1998, 1999, 1996, or 1992?
Bapre, 1999, I don't know. What is the answer you tell us without confusing us?
It was 1999. 1999.
अरे ये सब करना पड़ता है memorize.
I try to buy my birth year. So I just say the year I was born.
Wow, I'm so old, Ankita. Which among the following is not a mass medium? Newspaper, CCTV, radio, TV. अरे बच्चे भी बोलेंगे. It is CCTV.
Yeah.
यहाँ तो बहुत सारे CCTV है तो mass medium लगता है. Please read.
The input code of the compiler and assembler is called dash. Object code, source code, compiler code, or machine code?
Computers है क्या?
It is ICT.
Okay, I will blindly choose B.
Yeah, it is B, source code.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. But I'm learning. We will start paper one classes, dekhna.
Yes.
I don't give up. And cannot be defeated. We are learning and we will do. Ankita,
Yes.
farmers' lung disease is caused by, is it because farmers smell pollen grains? Is it because farmers smell smoke? Is it because farmers smell moldy hay or moldy sugar cane? Okay, I'm going for smoke.
It is moldy hay.
अरे इतना इतना मोल्डी है यहाँ. पास मत जाना farmers lung disease लग जाएगा. Please read.
Huh. In communication, the reactions of the audience is called as dash. Feedback, coding, noise, or decoding.
कोई तो सो रहा, कोई तो हंस रहा, कोई तो ध्यान से सुन रहा. It is called feedback.
Yeah.
Dear friends, thank you so much. This was an amazing set of questions. Just a while ago, we had a YouTube live with the famous actress who has supported a lot of actors, Neelu Kohli. And she spoke amazingly about professionalism, how to manage your career, how to excel in your career, how to be a woman in a man's world, and so on and so forth. So please watch that live, because it is not entertainment. It gives us a lot of insights. It's very inspiring. And I have learned from Neelu ma'am after doing the live. So please watch that also. You will love it. Okay, thank you very much. We will be back with more Karnataka SET Practice. Bye-bye.
Bye.